"To die is tragic, but to go missing becomes a legend, a mystery." This quote reflects the story of Jimmy Hoffa, the Teamster Union boss who disappeared in 1975 and still hasn't been found. But is Jimmy Hoffa dead? This is a constant question following Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance, and this video will provide you with answers, so let's get started. To begin with, after Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, he went from being a controversial union leader to becoming a legendary figure. The previous president of the Teamsters Union, Jimmy Hoffa, disappeared on July 30, 1975. He had reportedly gone to a restaurant in a Detroit suburb expecting to meet some mafia figures he had known for years. He had intended to gain their backing to reclaim the presidency of the Teamster Union. Several people recounted seeing him enter the restaurant lot before 3 o'clock. After that, Jimmy Hoffa disappeared. The FBI has long believed that Hoffa was the target of a mafia assassination. However, despite a lengthy investigation of Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance, we still don't know who killed Jimmy Hoffa. Well, that is if he is dead. But Mitchell Franzese says he knows Jimmy Hoffa is dead, and he knows the shooter.
I think I know who the real shooter was.
Although Jimmy Hoffa disappeared in 1975, his memory persists in our society. However, how is it that a man who disappeared in 1975 is still infamous even in 2022? Well, you will find out soon when we talk about some of the legacies he left behind following his disappearance, so stay tuned. Here on this channel, we don't just create videos, we leave legacies too. Our legacies are the satisfaction you feel when you watch our videos. To subscribe to this channel, don't forget to hit that notification bell. When it rings, remember we have an excellent video for you. Moving on, after Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance, his portrayal in the media added to his fame. For instance, The Irishman by Martin Scorsese is a movie that presents a fictional account of Hoffa's life. In The Irishman story, it appears Jimmy Hoffa is dead since Frank Sheeran, Jimmy Hoffa's close friend and associate, confessed to having killed Jimmy Hoffa himself. Numerous true crime books have been written about him, with Charles Brandt's I Heard You Paint Houses being the most well-known. Additionally, he frequently appears in tabloids like the Weekly World News, claiming to have located Jimmy Hoffa hiding out in Argentina from the furious Kennedys. The Weekly World News tabloid gave us the impression that after Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance, he went into hiding, but later came out of hiding to meet President Clinton. So this implied that Jimmy Hoffa wasn't dead. The headline was written boldly, "Alive. Boss Jimmy Hoffa comes out of hiding to meet with President Clinton." But is this story even true? Was it just the media trying to bait people with attractive news? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments section below. While the media creates attention, the FBI investigates. We want to inform you that the FBI have their leads on Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance. Soon we will bring you the FBI findings on the Jimmy Hoffa investigation, so stay tuned. In addition, Jimmy Hoffa was well known in the trucking sector as a tenacious and competent negotiator for the Teamsters. He was also a significant contributor to developing the first international freight hauling agreement. The Teamsters became the most considerable labor union in the U.S. because of his efforts. Despite his achievement, Jimmy Hoffa is notorious for associating with several crime groups. He never disputed having connections to mobsters. Instead, he asserted that these were the types of people he occasionally had to work with as he built and expanded the Teamsters in the face of employer hostility. Jimmy Hoffa became the subject of numerous prosecution attempts. Nevertheless, his supporters remained steadfast. For instance, his supporters even donned pins that said, "Hoffa, the Teamster's Teamster." The Department of Justice even established a Get Hoffa squad to hunt out Hoffa and his close friends. In 1964, Hoffa was found guilty of jury manipulation and stealing the union's pension fund. Despite that defeat, Hoffa maintained a solid grip on the Teamsters' presidency even after being sent to prison in 1967. To secure executive clemency from the Nixon administration, Jimmy Hoffa resigned as president of the Teamsters in 1971. The president's mercy was granted with one requirement: he was not permitted to run for office in the union until 1980. Once free, Hoffa argued that the decision to expel him from the union headquarters was unlawful and started planning to run for the Teamsters' leadership. He still had supporters, and as a Washington Post article from 1992 put it, he wore white socks and liked his beef cooked medium well. He snored at the opera. In other words, he was a likable man. Nonetheless, the organized crime leaders, who had found it simpler to cooperate with Hoffa's successor, Frank Fitzsimmons, were the ones who opposed it. Hoffa's meeting on July 30, 1975, at the eatery was part of his efforts to overcome that opposition. But as we all know,
things didn't go as planned.
Jimmy Hoffa disappeared. The hunt for Hoffa's remains has been drawn out and complicated. After Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, the FBI interrogated Teamster Union leaders and mob bosses and henchmen and began receiving tips that his body was buried in New Jersey, hundreds of miles from where he disappeared, but found nothing there. Again, FBI agents also examined other places in Michigan years later, including a farm, a driveway, and below a swimming pool. The Giant Stadium, which was under construction at the time of Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance, has become a site where people believe Jimmy Hoffa is buried. Following a tip, the FBI also landed in Jersey City below the Pulaski Skyway on October 25 and 26, 2021, to conduct a site survey into Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance. But once again, the FBI hasn't found conclusive evidence on who killed Jimmy Hoffa or where he is buried. Since that fateful day in July 1975, when Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, his story continues to leave. To some people, he is the infamous Teamster lead with ties to the mafia. In the eyes of others, he represents an idealized view of a man who puts in endless effort to succeed. The mystery surrounding Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance is still unsettled. While we cannot confirm whether he is dead, we hope the FBI soon provides a conclusion to this long-drawn mystery. If you enjoyed watching this video, check out our video on the unbelievable truths about Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance. You will love that too. Thanks for watching. We will see you soon in the following video.